everyone, today is Saturday, March 16th, 2019, and today is Saturday's video. It is sunny and warm outside finally. So today's video is going to be a pretty long one, so if I have to break it up into little ones, I'm going to. What I've got here in this box, which you might not be able to see too terribly well, is from an eBayer that lives in the next town over. I've mentioned it before, and he's had a garage sale. And so now that he started doing some local pickup, I was like, hey man, and you're just a few miles away. So I went out to his place, and oh my god, I got this box full. So the first time he had a garage sale, I spent 200 and something, 280 to maybe right at 200 something. This one was 175, so definitely, I hope I made it worth his while. So let's see what we've got here. Quite a bit of stuff. Some stuff I just hadn't seen forever, so I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting that. So this one is Tyrant number 3 autographed. Truth be told, I don't know anything about this comic. He had a few of them, and he just gave this to me because I guess he's got a lot of them. So we've got that. I'll read it, of course. And here we have some of the, I want to say it's Comics Greatest World, some variant covers with the foil on them. I can't really see because of the glare. I need to get a backdrop. Be professional. Might as well be professional. So bear with me here. So, okay. So this is Comics Greatest World. And he had all 4 of these on there. And truth be told, I've never read one of these. I only recognize the symbol, and I think I've got one of their card sets from a while ago that I put on there. And I'm going to try something. Bear with me here. 1 second. I don't know that much is going to do to knock down the glare, but we'll find out. So, got these. He had all 4 of them for a set. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm getting these. So they were pretty cool. I do want to read those because I think I've got some of these cards. And Comics Greatest World X. Again, don't know any much about these. I've never read them, but they look pretty cool, so I got those. So here we go, some art portfolios that he had. So you know how I got these. I'm going to get some of these here. And I'm going to open these up. And these are a little different from the normal ones. These appear to be like larger prints, but on like so cardstock. They're on like paper or some sort of prints. So these will be some Saturday videos when I get lazy. Speaking of lazy, I have not done any scanning on anything. I feel like I'm a reject. Magneto number 4. Why did I get that? Okay, so here's something that I got and I came across. The Shadowhawk trade paperback. Had that when I was a kid. It's the miniseries story. The Savage Dragon miniseries. I got in that. If you remember, I did a video about that a few weeks ago, telling about how in the graphic novel they put everything in chronological order. And that's how we knew it was a good story, because with the flashback scenes in the comics and the chronological order in the graphic novel, still a great read. Here we have a Youngblood trade paperback, and I thought this was from the original miniseries, because that one's just impossible to get, but it is not. This is the Baptism of Fire storyline, but that's okay because I'm going to read it. And it's got art by Lad Leffel. It looks like it's got some... Oh, okay, this is like Youngblood number 6, when that first took off. And it looks like some Team Youngblood stuff is in there, so that's going to be good. Cyberforce graphic novel. This is the complete miniseries. This is 1 through 4, but not issue 0. I don't believe. Yep. And Cyberforce image comic written by Mark Silverstreet, written and drawn, maybe just drawn by Mark Silverstreet, was just amazing. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Still wondering why I picked up that Magneto. Okay. Here we have some more Comics Greatest World. We have some variant covers. Some foil lines. Again, I'm going to read these. And these are just awesome, you know. Now, back then when I was a kid, I would not have bought these for anything because I was so foil cover, gimmicky cover. I was not going to take any of them. I was never going to pay for them. Okay, Justice Riders Prestige paperback, or Prestige series, and Elseworlds Tale. Superman Doomsday, Hunter Prey, 1 through 3. We had quite a bit of these, and admittedly, I don't recall ever reading these, but I might have. But I think when I read those when I was a kid, I read them like one at a time throughout serious spots in my life. So I never read them all through 1 through 3. Exo Manowar Retribution. This I highly recommend. This one's a Valiant title. Remember in my last video I talked about how the Valiant's, the Exo Manowar number 0 was amazing, and this is the first few issues I want to say. Oh, this is interesting. Exo Manowar database. I'm going to read that one. Okay. Castle of the Bat, Batman Castle of the Bat. I've always wanted to read this one, and he had it for a good price. I can't remember what he charged me for it, but it was, in my mind, it was worth it. Here we go, we have the Crow graphic novel. This he had separated off into some other stuff that he was like, hey, please don't look through there because that's stuff that might not go up on the eBay just yet, but it might. And he hadn't gone through it, but this was sitting right up on top. So when I was dating Whitney, I was a big Crow fan, and she got this for me. And this is the mini-series from the early 80s, and this is just an amazing read. And when they did the Crow movie, Brandon Lee had this whenever he had it on hand. So every time they were wanting to do the scene, he's like, hey, let's just do it according to how J.O. Barr did it. The Valiant Era collection, I got this pretty cheap. This isn't just a few collected stories in there. The graphic novel says it's hard to find ones. The stories are hard to find. Could be. But I got it for pretty next to nothing. And it's got an Eternal Warrior Companion number 1 back in that one. This was another one that was just sitting there right up on top, and I got this one, I want to say it was for pretty close to the $5 one. Try to find the Death of Superman graphic novel anywhere now, and you're going to be spending $20. When this first came out, it was $5 when I bought it, and I was just like, oh yeah, I remember because a buddy of mine loaned me for $20. I was like, just turned 16 or something, and I was going on a date with this girl, and a buddy of mine loaned me $20, and then she backed out. I was like, okay, well, screw this. So then I went and bought this graphic novel, and paid back the rest of the money, so I owed my buddy like $5 forever. Then I started noticing it started going for $10, and now if you go to Barnes & Noble, good luck trying to find it for anything other than $20. The Warriors of Plasm Collected Edition, the 0 issue and splatter. Oh, okay. Warriors of Plasm, back in the 90s was such. It was a Defiant comic, and they came out, and Marvel tried to sue them because of the Plasm, because they had that character, that UK character Plasmus or some shit, which came out after the Warriors of Plasm. Initially this was just going to be called Plasm, but because of the lawsuit they changed it at the last minute to Warriors of Plasm, and Marvel still sued them, and I think they lost. So good for Defiant for winning. Interesting thing, side note, if you watch Star Trek Nemesis, there is a scene where they are going to back to the Federation to meet up with the fleet, and I remember seeing it on the big screen, and like all the starships that were listed on the screen, and it's hard to see it now on the DVDs, but what had happened was, and I noticed this because all of the starships that were listed on the screen, they're going to go meet, they did a little list of them on screen, it was all fancy, and I remember this vividly because all the names of the starships were names of comic book companies. There was the USS Defiant, USS Valiant, USS Dark Horse, and there was, I forget the other ones, but I thought, oh my gosh, that is so neat that they did that. Avengers versus the X-Men. This is from the limited series that came out in the 80s. I think the storyline was the Trial of Magneto storyline. And so that one I got for a pretty good price, so I bought that one. Star Wars Galaxy is a box of cards, which I hadn't been wanting to buy anything Star Wars, but here I did, and I'm hoping there's a complete set in there, but probably not, just because there was a time when people were buying